Countdown from 3. We'll go on 1, okay?
We're going 1?
Yes, we go on
Okay.
1. I am making this
Not
very
go.
clear right now. This is how we do it, okay? I am making this clear.
On 1.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
3,
Yes.
2, 1.
Hello, B, Jordan, Pixel, and occasional Afterbite cryptid Brian. It is lovely to speak to you
'Cause
all.
fuck you,
My name is
Brian.
Harley. I am your #1 fan on Twitter, apparently. And I have a love-hate relationship with the Vampire Diaries because I love teen drama garbage shows. Yay!
Yeah, same.
My ex got
Yep,
me into
mhm.
it
Big mood.
before we got together. I was fucking whipped, and she is a Delena shipper. Boo!
No.
And
You
I am a
dumped her.
huge Caroline Forbes stan. I ship Caroline with everyone she has been with.
Yes.
So
We appreciate that
yeah,
energy.
I just wanted to say that
Harley has rights.
I really fucking love your show. It's kept me sane in quarantine, and yeah, keep it up. Awesome. Love you guys. Bye.
We love you, Harley.
My
Wasn't
God, that is
so
awesome.
delightful?
Occasional
just so
occasional
delightful.
host Brian. Like, God damn it.
It's the truth.
I mean, you've been doing better, but that is 1000% the truth.
That's the truth.
All it took was the world ending for me to show up. That's all we needed.
Hey, y'all, we should get into worldwide quarantine more often, so then Brian shows up on our podcast. So hey everybody, welcome to Afterbite. It's a Vampire Diaries fancast. It's only 10 years too late. Thank you, Harley, for that wonderful little voice message. As a reminder, if y'all ever want to call into the show to tell us we're fucking wrong or to tell us to go fuck ourselves, you can do so at anchor.fm/afterbite. You can record a little voice message, we'll play
you
it.
don't have to leave us nice messages, all right? This was
You can
Please
be
leave us
mean.
nice
sweet, though.
messages. I'm fragile.
Listen,
For me and Jordan, you can leave mean messages.
yeah,
Okay.
I can
For
take
me,
it.
tell me I'm doing a good job.
Everybody make sure that you think that you say that Brian is doing a great job when he
Yep.
shows up. Because then
But
you
also-
can make it a really nice double-edged compliment.
But also, can I say the whole line of I ship Caroline Forbes with anyone she comes into contact with?
Big
Same.
mood.
I ship
Except for
Caroline and
Damon.
Table.
Except for Damon, exactly.
Caroline and that Table, they're gonna get together pretty soon.
I'm hoping for it.
I'd be here for it.
She could probably have chemistry with a fucking Table if she tried. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Some people are just like that.
She had scenes with Damon. She's good.
Exactly. She can play off of a brick wall if she needs to. She could talk her way out of a paper bag. It's perfect. Welcome to episode 21 of Afterbite. We're 21 whole years old now. Look at us go. We can, buy alcohol and stuff. So this week, we have on deck for you episode 219, Klaus, and episode 220, The Last Day. Again, season 2 really leaning into their these, you know?
Mhm.
Yep.
Trying to make it real proper and real dramatic. But first, Klaus. The Netflix description of this episode is Klaus is revealed and Elena learns shocking news about his motives. Plus, flashbacks to 1491 reveal Catherine's introduction to Elijah and Klaus.
I
So-
wonder if this episode's about Klaus.
Do you think this episode's about Klaus?
I
No.
wonder
Do you
if
think
this
we're gonna have
Santa
some
Claus.
flashbacks?
Santa Claus.
I mean,
And
yeah.
that's me for the podcast. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And he's gone.
Wait,
Goodbye.
but Santa Claus is actually the foil to Santa Claus. He just brings nothing but terror and doom, and doesn't give you a nice present. Just gives you doom, gives you the exact opposite of what you would want as a present.
So, the Krampus?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yes.
Everything circles back around eventually, baby.
Yeah.
And Legacies is just that full circle. So, in case you forgot, last week, Elena, as a final act of defiance, went down to the basement and pulled the dagger out of Elijah. In case you forgot about that. So that's where we're kicking it off this week. There is, we come in with heavy horror movie soundtrack, violins,
Yeah.
the offbeat piano thumps. It's
It's
They
pretty
just
good.
decided, let's do a horror movie for the first 5 minutes of this episode of The Vampire Diaries, and they did it well.
I've said it once
Yeah.
and I'll say it again. The Vampire Diaries horror moments, magnificent. There should just be a compilation of all the horror magic movie moments in this show.
Because it's the best moments.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, straight up, it's the best moments of this show are not the big declarations of love or anything. It's those moments where you're like, oh fuck.
When you're
Oh,
scared,
shit.
when you're about to shit your pants, you know?
You just went real far with it, but okay, I didn't think it was that bad, but whatever. So Elijah comes back to life, and he's like, you know what would happen if you dropped like a marionette puppet off a cliff? That's what Elijah's body is doing. He's just like getting up, and it's like creaking, and he's like bones are snapping back into place, and he
My God.
like he's in the house, but he like can't breathe.
Yeah. It's because he hasn't been invited in.
I
That's
know, it's fascinating.
insane.
It is fascinating. I really was like,
the lore
wish I
behind that, mind-boggling. To think that you can die as an original vampire and then wake up in a house that you're not welcomed in, and then be somehow forced by like supernatural forces to like just get out of that house.
yeah.
Wild.
Or you could be
It's
living
really
in a
fucking good.
or you could be in a foreclosure, and then all of a sudden someone buys the house, and you're like, yeah.
And you're just like having to eat yourself out. So this episode is going to be pretty flashback heavy.
Yeah.
The first flashback we get is angers me to no end, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Jordan, do you remember when we were talking about, Brian, I think you were here for this. We were
Probably.
talking about Trevor and Rose. And how in olden times, Rose's name was like Rosemary or something like that. And we were like, is Trevor's name just Trevor? So we looked it up on the TVD wiki, and it's just Trevor. It's always been Trevor. But Elijah calls him Trayfor. Hey, Elijah calls him fucking Trayfor. Can we just take a moment? He just calls him fucking Trayfor.
I think that's probably just an accent thing.
No, in the subtitles, it's spelled Trefor.
Okay, but I don't trust Netflix subtitles.
I don't either, but he just calls him fucking Trayfor.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
No,
not Trayfor.
It's not. Brian, it's not.
It's Trevor. It's okay.
That's not a real name.
Okay. Trayfor is
That's
not
not a real name.
My God.
You can't come out of here and convince me that was a name in the 1400s. Like, no, that's not a real thing.
It was not.
But you also can't convince me that Trevor is a name in the 1400s either. So
exactly. They just messed up heavily with that name. They just were not thinking at all.
They just really they were struggling, man. I don't know what they were doing here.
Trayfor is a place though in someplace. Hold on, where is it? In the UK.
I mean, yeah.
So he was named
right.
after a place.
Probably.
That would honestly make sense. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
Especially in the 1400s.
His last name.
Yeah, they weren't very creative back then.
As evidenced by Trayfor.
My God.
Also in this flashback.
Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worse. You know why it could be worse? We could be dealing with someone whose name is similar to the name of Elon Musk and Grimes' baby.
That's true. You mean like
maybe the people in the 1400s weren't like that creative, but like let's say thank you weren't this creative, because that's too far. You know, there's like a limit, and that was surpassing that limit.
So also in this flashback, we see Elijah's hair.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yikes.
just
It's just bad.
maybe it's natural, but maybe it's Maybelline, you know?
Or maybe it's a wig.
Or maybe it's bad wigs. Folks, we're gonna also start we are also going to start Elijah's bad wigs counter. Because I feel like we need to, because we will come back to these bad wigs fairly often
Yeah.
in this, and especially in the originals. So we're just gonna put a 1 on the Elijah's bad wigs counter, because we're gonna need to keep track of it eventually. Let's just get started now. This wig is bad. It's bad. It
Yeah.
looks like he skinned a raccoon and put it on his head. It's bad.
Oh, poor Elijah.
I'm sorry. Listen, now his hair is okay, and his hair is his hair, and it does get better from here. I think the 2000s were really a pivotal moment for Elijah.
Also, Elijah has the hots for Catherine. Just gonna say that.
Elijah immediately has the hots for Catherine.
I mean,
because
everyone on the show has the hots for Catherine.
Yeah.
it really,
Even Catherine has the hots for Catherine.
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
So we go to the Salvatore house where Stefan like wakes up and he's like, something's not right because Elena's not next to me, which really makes me confused for the timeline of when this is all happening.
Yeah, because
at the end of the last episode, they weren't in bed together. Like,
Yeah.
Elena didn't get up to sneak out.
yeah, she just went downstairs.
She just went downstairs.
Yeah, I think he probably just went to bed without even checking.
But also was, now that I'm thinking about it, was Elena just down there the entire night and didn't go to sleep?
She must have. Or she must have been there for at least part of the night before. Yeah, because Elijah went up in the daylight.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like,
Because when Elijah ran out of the house, it was daytime.
exactly.
Well, at the end of the last episode, it was pretty late when they got back from the dance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So she was just up all night, right?
Yeah, she definitely had to, like, down some fucking energy drinks.
And
like,
then she just continued on with her day.
Yeah.
she really did. And she's not gonna sleep anytime soon.
Exactly.
So Elena's objectively running on fucking fumes right now.
Exactly.
And we love that for her.
She has downed so many 5-hour energies in the last hours, it is not even healthy for her. Damon and Stefan figure out that she has raised Elijah, and one of them says the line, she won't leave. And then it hard cuts to Elena driving away with Elijah because she is leaving.
Elena's like, bye!
Later. And then we start on Elijah and Elena's fun road trip. Because they're just having a time. During this episode, it's a lot of Elena and Elijah, and I really do love their dynamic.
Yeah, I enjoy
And
their dynamic as
100%.
well.
Let me tell you why I fucking love their dynamic and why I think it works. It's because Elena's, like, character flaw is that she's entirely too trusting, and Elijah
100%.
is the only motherfucker on this show that is trustworthy.
Exactly.
So they are on the same playing field here, because they're like, they are both very detail oriented. They've both kind of outfoxed each other at different times, and they are like on an even level, like, playing field. And it feels so fucking good to finally see Elena in her element. You know,
it kind of feels like they're equals in a sense, you know?
Exactly. Like, so often we see her just trailing behind or having decisions made for her, but this one, like, they're both there and they are both wanting to be there and they need each other to do something, so they're going to work together, and it feels so fucking good to have Elena be, like, good at something, you know?
Yeah.
Elena's good at everything.
I mean, yes, but also you never get to see that she's good at everything because nobody else fucking trusts her to do anything. Like,
True.
everybody else wants to wrap her in bubble wrap.
The boys are always like, no, Elena, you should stay here. Or no, Elena, like, I should do this for you. And finally we're like, yes, Elena, do whatever you want. Finally.
Like, the boys just want to fucking wrap her in bubble wrap or some shit. And this is like her being like, well, actually, I can do something. It's finally her having an actual sense of agency and being able to do something about it. Elijah
True.
Michelson is the original, like, drinker of the Respect Women juice. We love to see it.
Yeah.
He's fucking chugging that Respect Women juice all the
And-
goddamn
really is.
time.
And you know why? It's because of that loyalty, you know? Like,
Exactly.
when men are loyal, they respect women.
The one thing I love about this is, like, Elena knows that Elijah is trustworthy. Like, when Stefan and Damon call her, she's like, Elijah's a noble man. Like, yeah, no shit he is.
Exactly. And Stefan finally says the magic words of, we need to trust her, let her do her thing.
You know
Stefan is the
what?
best.
Stefan sometimes gets on my nerve, but you know, sometimes he has that respect woman juice.
Exactly, and
best
he is
boy.
just sipping it. Damon, not fucking sipping it.
Never.
Gonna continue to cause problems
Never.
on purpose for these 2 episodes that will have immediate consequences that were incredibly foreseeable.
And you know why? It's because of Damon's ego. He
1
can't let
million
his ego go. And it always gets him into trouble. And I'm never sorry for him because his ego is too big. For someone who makes so many mistakes, how is your ego that big?
There are so many moments in these 2 episodes that we're gonna get into that I'm gonna be like, was this supposed to make me feel sorry for Damon? Because
Exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
These 2 episodes are like, you should feel sorry for Damon. And I'm like, okay, but where? And why? And no. So we cut back to flashbacks where Elijah introduces Catherine to Klaus. And we finally see him in his true form. Joseph Morgan is here, folks. Let's give a round of applause for Joseph Morgan. I'm so glad he's collecting this paycheck.
Also, he looks like the prince from Beauty and the Beast.
He really does.
Like,
he
am I
looks
wrong?
unfortunate as well, but not as unfortunate as Elijah does, but also still unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Lord Niklaus sounds kind of badass. Like, it kind of sounds like a supervillain name.
I mean,
Lord
he is a
Niklaus?
super
Yes.
villain.
Yeah.
He really is. But just, Joseph Morgan is finally here. I'm so glad we finally have some good fucking food. Finally. Some good fucking food.
Oh my god.
I'm the biggest Joseph Morgan stan. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Honestly, though,
He's fucking brilliant.
As much as I'm not really the biggest Klaus fan. What Joseph Morgan did with Klaus, holy shit. Amazing.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
The hair we do not love to see, but we love to see Joseph Morgan.
Is he like one of those actors who you're like, oh, you're so good at playing the bad guy and I hate you for
Yes.
it?
He's just so good. Period. Just put a period at that. Stop. Just so good.
But he's also good at playing like that damaged like anti-hero. But like still.
So like what Damon is trying to be, but
what
is
Damon
not.
wishes he could be. With Klaus, they will eventually pull off the Damon Salvatore rehabilitation program, but good. It's so good.
All right.
God, Joseph Morgan. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. What I'm not so glad about is Jenna. She has returned home from her little like weekend bender writing her thesis paper, and
it was so safe.
And Stefan is like, well, shit, now we gotta fucking go fill Jenna in because Elena had like called and told her like not to go to dinner with Rick or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it's not a theory, it's just a fact. The Vampire Diaries loves to like take away characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll just pull them back and they'll be like,
exactly.
They're like, now you know that this character will likely be in danger because we brought them back for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
She was perfectly fine on campus, but she needed to come home to grab a change of clothes, and so now she's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Stefan goes to fill Jenna in on everything, which finally somebody's gonna go fill her in. Good. That is needed to happen. It's about 2 seasons too late, but
Yeah.
it's finally happening.
Mhm.
And he tells Damon this, and Damon's like, fine, whatever, I'll stay here. And then Damon immediately is like, fuck it, I'm not gonna stay here, we're gonna go rogue. So he drags his well-meaning girlfriend Andy Starr, who I think actually does like him, which I'm so sorry, Miss Starr.
Sorry, you like troubled, damaged men.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
kind of like
R.I.P.
that's the worst for you.
Already, just like R.I.P. I don't even know if she actually dies. I can't remember, but just like being in cahoots with Damon there, not gonna turn
Yeah.
out well for you. So Damon, you start off this episode knowing that Damon is gonna go rogue, because he's a fucking dick, and that's what he does. We go to the Lockwood mansion where Elijah and Elena are, just like chilling. Elijah gets to like ask Miss Lockwood for like help. He gets a new suit from her because
I love
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
he was like, I need new clothes. And her first thought was like, oh, my husband has some old suits. Just
Yeah.
like knew from like his aura that he needed a suit.
oh yeah,
Elijah without a suit is traumatizing.
it hardly ever happens, and I hate it when it does. He is always in a suit.
Yeah.
He's just a suit motherfucker,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
You know how there are people in this world where you're just like, you're a suit bitch?
Mhm.
He's a suit bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Elijah also does a little bit of a lore dump on us. Thank you, Elijah. We have been looking and just trying to get this tasty lore about the originals, and it's finally happening, where
Yeah.
he reveals that he and Klaus are brothers.
What?
Dun dun dun.
And there's a whole family of originals. 7
I believe the
of
term
them.
you're searching for is OMG.
With the
God,
little
that lie.
teacup. He's so fucking good.
That
He's
fucking
so
lie.
unintentionally so fucking funny. He's
I
so
love
fucking
him.
good. But there
It's
is
fucking great.
Elijah tells us that like his parents had 7 kids. And
Something
so
like that, yeah.
yeah, he says 7. And do keep that in mind for very much later.
Yeah, he
So
did say
you
the
can
origin story is too long though, so maybe season 3?
maybe. So the what the fuck am I trying to say here? So he does say that his parents had 7 children. So you can't imagine from now there are 7 originals just running around in the world somewhere. At least, right? Because you can
Mhm.
picture, okay, well, if Elijah and Klaus are both originals and they're brothers, probably it's a whole family affair. There's a
Yeah.
whole gaggle of them running around.
It really
Uh,
is.
Back at the Gilbert house, Alaric, who is still Klaus,
Caloric.
is Alara Klaus, is very likable, and I hate it. Even though Jenna's mad at him, you can tell that she still likes him because he's Alaric and he's charming, you know.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, again, we do have to say that whenever we see Alaric,
Mhm.
fuck Matt Davis.
Fuck Matt Davis.
Alaric though, you're okay.
Mhm.
So Lara Klaus tells Jenna about vampires and werewolves, and she's like, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Yeah.
So that went not as poorly as it could have gone.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
It could have ended up with Jenna dying. So
Yeah, and then it ended up with her finding out about everything.
yeah. So like
Could be
not the
worse, could be
same,
better.
but not the same. Could be worse.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So we cut back to, I think at this point we cut, let's see.
Damon and Andy go
Oh
visit
yeah, we cut
Catherine.
back. Let me, oh yeah, that is, wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, before that happens.
Was it
Before
before
that happens, I think it is, or fuck. Okay, at some point, we'll do it this way. Andy and Damon go visit Catherine in Alaric's apartment.
Yeah.
And Damon gives Catherine some vervain to stop her from being further compelled, so she can try and find a loophole in the compulsion that Klaus did to get her out of the apartment.
There's always a loophole.
There is
I'm so
always
tired of that
some
word.
sort of loophole. And we're gonna hammer on it a little bit later here too, but we're gonna keep having to say the word loophole, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I love how Catherine just took drink of her van like it was vodka. She's like, okay.
I mean, it is kind
She
of like
really did
vodka to
toss
her
that
now.
shit back.
Mm,
She really did.
she really did. And honestly, Catherine's in quarantine, and we can't judge her for that.
Oh wait, Catherine is in quarantine.
Hey.
Exactly.
You ever think that you would be able to compare the life you're living right now to one of a 100-year-old vampire stuck and compelled into a room? Doesn't have any
500
And she was in
will.
the tomb for a while before this. Like, she's really going through it, and she's trying her best with social distancing, except everybody around her is making it a little impossible, but she's doing her
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, everyone keeps like coming to her. Everyone keeps coming to her. She's like, I need you to stay 6 feet away. And
she
they're like,
tries.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Sorry, sweetie.
She's trying her best, even when everyone around her is not.
Yeah.
Be more like Catherine Pierce. Social distancing, folks. So then we cut back to the Lockwood mansion where Elijah and Elena are still talking, and Elijah reveals that, and this is so fucking genius.
I love it.
Just so fucking genius. The Michelson brothers made the curse of the sun and the moon. They made it up.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all fake. It's not
And
real.
they planted it in every culture around the world that they could.
The implications.
It is mind-boggling.
The fucking implication of white men going into all of these different cultures and just being like, here you go, here's a little piece of me interrupting your culture. Here you go. Just gonna do that real quick.
Here's a
You don't mind.
curse. It's an Aztec curse, guys. Don't worry. It's so fucking bonkers.
It's Roman too.
Like, it needs
it's also
to be
African.
unpacked. And it needs to be unpacked, and it's not.
It's like they made a double blind on these curses that is so fucking genius, because so it's revealed that there is another curse on Klaus that basically, that to get the ingredients, you would need the same ingredients as the sun and the moon, the quote-unquote sun and the moon curse, for to break the curse that Klaus actually has on him. So they made up the sun and the moon curse to get werewolves and vampires alike searching for everything they needed, because they're fucking geniuses, and obviously any fucking vampire who finds the doppelganger is gonna bring the doppelganger to the basically vampire king, which for all effect and purposes is what Klaus and Elijah are, to like break the curse. Like, anybody who finds a moonstone is gonna be bringing that shit to them. It's so fucking genius. It's such a good
It really is. It's a smart move.
It's so fucking genius. Like, everybody else is out here playing checkers, but the Michelson brothers are playing 3D chess.
Yeah.
And I love how Klaus is even like, oh, I did this one drunk.
It's like, yeah, I was really fucking sloshed when I made this Roman scroll, but it still worked. Which also, the Romans are also probably were fairly sloshed whenever they were doing anything important, so it just works. You gotta match the vibes of the of the culture you're originating it from. Which is it's just this whole like double indemnity of a curse breaking that they've done is so fucking genius. It's genuinely the smartest thing TVD has done. Like, genuinely.
I remember watching this episode live and then like hearing the words Elijah go, the curse of the sun and the moon, it's fake. And I was like, wait, what, bitch? And I remember saying to myself, so I was thinking this entire season was for nothing?
When I initially heard that, I was like, wait, how is it fake? Because then my mind went to if it's fake, then why do vampires who are not the originals, why do they burn in the sun, right? Why is it so burdened that werewolves can only turn once a month and it's like uncontrolled, And I also was like questioning, like, the whole like lore behind the originals and like where they originated from and why are they so special, you know?
And
Well,
we're
don't
gonna
worry
get
about
into
that.
that. That's a lot of season 3, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very much season 3. We will actually get an entire episode, kind of similar to this one, where a character and an original kind of chit chat, and they get the information they need about um the origins of vampires and why certain why vampires are affected by vervain with the sun, why they can't go into houses, and things like
Okay.
that. It's very much kind of explained. Same thing with werewolves, but werewolves isn't really explained until like the originals. So it's
Oh.
gonna be a little bit
Just know,
for werewolves.
yeah, just know for now how you can make sense of it. Um, just know that, like, if that's just the way vampires were made.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like, just the reason the house, the burning in the sun thing, the house thing, that's just the way vampires were made.
So that's the way
Um,
that they were made, and then they like took the
nothing is gonna
advantage.
change that.
Yeah, so then they took like they were like, "Oh, what if we like mess with them and like tell them there's a way they could do with this thing that they."
Exactly.
Wow,
There's
that's
nothing
wild.
vampires can do to change any of those things, but the fucking
They
curse
gave
is
them
they're just
some
like,
freaking
maybe
hope.
you
That's
can.
that's
Exactly. They
insane.
yeah,
just dangle the carrot on a stick in front of an entire like species, and they're like, "Go get it, go get it. Come on, just give me the doppelganger, and then you can walk in the sun. Come on,
That's
come get it."
wild.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
freaking
So really, there is
wild.
probably there is really no other way than the daylight ring to have a vampire walk in the daylight and have um and then a werewolf just has to turn on the full moon. Those them the rules.
That's wild.
Yep, and that's what they're stuck
Yeah,
with.
that's just the like way they were made. It's so I love this double blind so much. Elena gets a
Thank
call
Jenna.
that Jenna is kind of freaking out because obviously,
Yeah.
uh, and she kind of has to, um,
She has to leave
she
Elijah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, she has to leave Elijah, and she's like, "I'll come back. You have my word." And he's like, "That really doesn't mean shit to me until you actually come back." And she's like, "Okay, well, bet."
Ooh.
And then she leaves. um,
Elena, the queen of leaving.
exactly. She's like, "All right, bet. I'll be back later then." So she runs off. And Jenna's fucking pissed
Yeah, as she
because
I
should
love
be.
it.
everybody knew but
As,
her.
as she should be.
As she
Jenna
should be.
was the last one of the main cast to find out.
Like
And she
imagine.
should be mad.
I think there are even more like reasons than normal to be mad because of the fact that like her like niece and nephew, who she's supposed to be taking care of, knew about this thing. And Jenna has like no like this whole thing was surrounded by Jenna. Like even the person she was dating is involved in this supernatural realm and she's just like left out of the loop. Like that is a valid reason to be angry.
She snapped and
It's
she
just
deserved it.
bonkers. Yeah, she has earned, her breakdown is long overdue. She's earned this.
Mhm.
So after though, Elena kind of calms her down, and Jenna just like takes a nap because like fuck it, you know, just fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm
I would take a
angry and
nap
I'm
at this
mad.
point.
I'm just gonna sleep it off. So Jenna goes to bed super quick, and then Elena's like, "All right, I gotta go back to Elijah because I gave him my word."
Mm-hmm.
And Stefan's like, "Okay, yeah, sure, okay." And then Damon's like, "No," which
Yep.
Damon, it's not your fucking choice to make, buddy.
Yep.
He's
The one
always
thing I
like,
do. Ooh, the one thing I do. Sorry if I interrupted. I did, but
yeah,
um,
okay, just move on, continue.
I loved how Stefan just kicks his ass instantly. He's
He's
just like,
just like,
no.
"Well, Elena said that she was gonna leave, so she's gonna leave." And Damon's like, "No, we
Yep.
just got her back." And he's like, "No, Elena needs to keep her word.
Mm-hmm.
This is important to her,
Like
so we're gonna let her go."
Damon and his stupid ego and need to like be the one in control is so annoying.
I know.
Yeah, but we gotta deal with it.
Like
And like,
respect the people around you and the choices they make. Don't try to make everyone's choices for them because you think it's what's best. Because guess what, bud? Most of the time, what you think is wrong. It's not correct.
he's really especially these few episodes, he goes on a losing streak. And so also, like, the way they paint this bothers me so fucking much, is because they try and paint Damon as so, like, sad and upset that she's leaving. It's like, no, he's just upset because a woman is moving outside of his control. You can, like, act like you're sad all you'd like. It doesn't change the fact of the matter here. And you know, it just fucking happens, you know? It's just, ugh. And we'll hit on it later. There's another moment that really grinds my fucking gears. So then
Catherine
we
has a dance
go
party.
yeah, Catherine's dancing. She's at her quarantine peak, you know? She's just dancing, having a good time, and then Alaric and Maddox returns with apparently a bunch of Klaus's luggage. Also,
I love him.
arriving at the apartment is Greta, the sister that the Martins wanted to save. Guess what? She's evil and aligned with Klaus. So,
Yeah.
good job, guys. Read the room.
Yeah.
Way to read the room, y'all.
Greta was like, "Hi, I'm with Klaus."
And then
Also,
we were all
Klaus
like,
is in a box.
Klaus is just in a big box.
like, the fact that Greta's with Klaus, just like icing on the cake of like their whole entire family, just like ripped your entire family line, because they like literally like did the most to try to save you, and in the end, you didn't need saving.
She was
And
just
in
there for
the
fun.
end-
Okay.
I won't finish that
Copyright
because
here, bud.
copyright.
Thank you. So Klaus is in a box for now.
Klaus in a box. I'm so sorry.
It's so stupid.
It really is.
So we cut back to the Lockwood mansion, where Elijah reveals that Klaus's curse is actually a bunch of witches basically bound his werewolf side to like keep it in check. So
Yep.
his mom was also the mother of all the other originals, but his father was of the werewolf bloodline.
Dun, dun, dun!
So
bit.
Klaus is actually a hybrid if he gets to set free his werewolf side. Right now, he's just an original vampire. But if they can set his werewolf side free, that would make him a hybrid.
We love that lore.
It's
We do
cool though.
love this
I remember
lore.
when they first like revealed that, because at this point they were kind of like slowly building up to it. They were like saying like Klaus's father was from a werewolf bloodline. I remember I was actually texting with a friend when this happened, and I go, haha, watch them make Klaus a hybrid, and then all of a sudden Elijah goes, he's both, and I was like, oh shit. So I'm actually a writer on TVD. Surprise.
Legally, that makes me think less of you.
Oh.
It's like that thing where, like, legally, if you're a cop, you have to tell me. I mean, you don't, but legally, if you're a writer from TVD and you're on this podcast, you have to tell me. Elijah also reveals that there is a way to save Elena. Way back in 1491, when Klaus was going to sacrifice Catherine, Elijah was in love with her, so he wanted to find a way to save her. And he did. So he has a potion that will save Elena. Just remember that. Elijah made this potion for the woman he loved, so it's probably gonna work.
Correct.
Remember that later.
And to think all of this was happening before Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. I had to. You know I had to.
Did you though?
I did.
So, back at the Salvatore house,
Yay.
Damon's so fucking toxic. Just
per usual.
I just hate him. That's just it.
Valid.
Damon, Brian, what
Hi.
happens in this scene? Lay it out for me.
Okay. So basically Damon was like, I don't think I ever remember. I just remember Stefan punching the shit out of Damon.
He does.
That's
Which is
really
the
all I
good thing that
remember.
happens in this scene is that Damon punches the shit out of
All you need to know is that Damon said some stupid shit. I think I remember.
It was about Elena.
It was about Elena. It was like Damon was being all like ego driven, and then Stefan was like, "Oh, it's because like you're in love with my girlfriend," and then Damon was like, "Yeah, what about it?" And then they just started fighting over Elena, like two immature little boys who don't know
And
that
then
Elena
Elena
can
came
make
in.
her own choice.
Yeah, and then Elena came in and was like, "Shut the fuck up."
And Elena reveals that she's been playing a really aggressive game of deal or no deal with Elijah, and
Yeah.
Elena took the deal. She is
She
going
did.
to participate in the sacrifice because Elijah has a way to save her. So, she's gonna be here for it. You know, we love to see it. So Elena figured out all the pieces, and they have a way to win. They found the loophole.
Yep. They did. They found
But-
everything they needed. Nothing else will happen. Where everything's fine. Everything's
Nope. We still have a good 5
Nope.
minutes left of this episode.
Shit.
Guess who fucks it up?
Wait, there's something we've not talked about before we get into the end.
I had a joke, but I lost it. But it was funny in my head.
Oh, Brian.
I know.
We haven't talked about what the deal involved with Elena involves. The deal with Elijah and Elena.
Oh yeah. So the deal is that Elijah will help them, and he will protect the Salvatore brothers if they apologize to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All you gotta do is say sorry, boys.
And then Stefan's like, yes, okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to protect Elena, but like I'm sorry for being a part of you dying. And then Damon's like, no, I'm not gonna apologize. I don't think I should have to.
Okay, but fun fact, Damon doesn't know what an apology is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure Damon does not know what the word sorry is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Copyright.
I don't even know what song that was, or if
Neither
that was
do
in
I.
tune or anything. So
I
I
don't even
think
know
you're
where-
good with the copyright censors there, bud.
And then
Great.
after Damon doesn't apologize, right? He goes off because earlier on he told Andy to get out and leave.
Wait, no, wait, that's not this.
No?
Not yet.
No. It's before.
Not yet. There's one more thing that happens.
Oh, okay. I missed something. Never mind.
Yeah. Don't worry. I think this is when this happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when this thing happens. So Elena goes up to talk to Damon.
Oh, wait, is it this episode? I thought it was next episode.
No, it's
Nope, it was
this
this one.
episode.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
They kind of blend into one another, so.
They really do, but in a good way. So,
Yeah.
Elena goes up to talk to Damon. And she's like, Damon, why won't you just accept it that I have a way to win? He's like, how do you fucking know this is going to work? And she's like, well, because I trust Elijah. He thinks it's going to work, so it's going to work. And Damon's like, well, why am I the only one who thinks that it's not going to work? I don't know, Damon. Maybe you're just the biggest fucking dumbass in this house right now. You know? Maybe you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle that Elena has.
Maybe you lack
haven't
some
spent
brain
the whole
cells.
day doing research like Elena did.
Yeah.
Like, buddy. So,
Damon goes to his room.
storms off like an insolent teenager. And Elena comes to find him again. And Damon...
Nope, not Elena.
He does make her drink his blood at this point, right? Like, we're gonna get to this point, right?
Yeah, that's the next episode, though.
Okay,
that is not
that's
the next
what
episode.
I
That
thought
is
was
this
the next
episode.
episode.
Yeah,
No,
that's the next episode.
So
That's the next
at the end
episode.
of this episode is with Andy. The introduction of next episode is with Elena. That's what I thought.
No, I genuinely thought that was the end of this episode.
No.
Brian.
I'm sorry. It's fine. I was fully going on with it. I was like, yeah, wait.
Brian,
really thought
please
that was
clarify to us
Might be.
what the order of events is, since you have like the little
Okay.
list.
Yeah. So what
But
happened
also,
was
Brian's
Damon.
list. By the way, I will note this week I did not take good notes because I was, as previously mentioned, painting my nails during this episode. However, Brian's notes that he took are bad and don't tell me
Yeah.
anything about what happened in these scenes. So I genuinely thought Brian's note of Elena figured out all the pieces and now they have a way to win, but Damon's gonna mess it all up probably. And then next line, Damon, don't fuck this up. And then next line, he fucked it up. I genuinely thought that was when Damon made Elena drink his blood. I genuinely thought that because Brian, your fucking notes are incoherent.
Okay, well, to be fair, I also thought you were gonna be writing your thing, so I was like, I'm not gonna worry
I
about
was
this.
painting my nails.
Okay, so
Brian, clarify the order of events here.
Damon storms off to his room because he's a baby.
Mhm.
And then Andy's there in her bra.
Yeah,
being
why
all
is she
like,
naked?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
know.
hey, why
really
is she
weird how much of
naked?
a sex object she is. Okay? It's just
She looked
really
damn good, though.
uncomfortable.
She did, but like, why are you naked, girl? Just like chill in a bathrobe or something.
Yeah. But basically, Damon does what Damon does best and basically turns into a dick. He bites her, throws her to the ground, which is and then compels her to leave for good, basically, at this point, and is like, bye, get out. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Go, Damon.
Is this supposed to make me feel bad for Damon? Because it
Makes me feel
doesn't.
bad for Andy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel nothing
like-
for Damon. I'm like, Damon, you're the worst still.
He's just like being a shitty, abusive boyfriend. Like, that's just it. Hey, y'all, just because he feels bad about it afterwards doesn't mean he's not a gaslighting, abusive dickwad here.
Exactly.
Like, straight up. I'm sorry that, like, they're playing this off so poorly and that this is how, you know, relationships in media are played off, but like he's fucking bad.
Like, how am I
He's
supposed
a
to feel
bad
bad
guy.
for the bad person in the relationship? Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Just like they try and play it off so fucking sadly, like with tears in his eyes. Like, no.
Cause you know what they try to make it seem like? Like he's like not in control of his actions. Like he like he's like a little baby, and like oh, like I didn't mean to do that, but like I guess I did do that, and I'm sorry. But like no, you didn't mean to do that because that was your intention. You did it. You're an adult. You're a grown man. You can decide what and what not to do. You don't have to rely on your impulses. You choose to.
It's just, it really harkens back to that one fucking, God, that one episode forever ago, where Damon ends it on like the side of the road, like,
Yeah.
and kills that one lady, because he's like, I have a lot of problems being a good person. She's like, okay, but I'm just here to help you. And then he just like murders her for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like that. Like, you're just trying to make me feel bad for a bad person, and that really does not fly here with me.
It doesn't sit right with me at all.
It doesn't sit right in my soul.
I'm just vibing.
I mean, you're just vibing, but also like this is super fucking.
It is. It is. I will admit, this is very like bad. Like,
I hate to use the term problematic, but this is problematic as fuck, the way they're trying to play him off as like the victim here. I hate that term. People learn social cues through things like TV shows, and people learn how to act with other people through social cues like this. And I mean, yes, being like real life plays a large part into this, like your family plays a large part into this, but also the media you consume determines kind of like what kind of person you turn out to be. And it's important to note here that a lot of people, this was like their first of like, this is how a relationship should go, you know? Like, this is the kind of man I want to be with. And it's Damon fucking Salvatore being played as the victim when he is in control of his own actions 1000% of the time. It's just like, it makes my skin fucking crawl.
I just find it a problem with a lot of media, especially like 2000s media, or where you'll just have this one male character who's like the most toxic person in the world, like not a good person at all, but for some reason people are fawning over him, and like you're supposed to be into how bad of a person he is, even though no, that's not healthy. Like he needs help, he needs therapy, you know? Like,
we all need therapy at this point.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, you're fucking right.
Like Like it's just such an unhealthy portrayal of a relationship, and this isn't the first time TBD has done this. This is the second time they've shown a relationship with Damon where it's been like this, you know? Like maybe you want to show it once off and you're like, okay, that was something we did, but we're moving on from that. But no, you did it twice. Like, what was the reason?
It's just
Shirtless Damon. That's why.
like not. Please don't take this as like we're standing on a soapbox and telling you all of this, but like genuinely, we take our relationship cues from the medias we watch, and this is a thing that a lot of people watch, and we're like, this is fine. It's not fine.
It's not.
Just because he feels bad about it afterwards doesn't mean he's not abusive. And that's where we're going to end that conversation, but like, bro. And then the final scene for this episode. I have to get out of it somehow.
That's
like,
fair. We're finally there.
You know, you have to, but you got to take a moment and be like, y'all,
this
just
is
because
bad.
you feel
Yeah,
bad
me too.
does not
Me too.
mean,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
So
that's fair.
Joseph Morgan is gonna get that paycheck because Klaus is finally back in his own body. Let's go, baby!
Oh yeah.
Hey, Vas
Who's
Matos. I love how my only note for that was, aw shit, here's Klaus.
Joseph Morgan finally gonna secure that bag, and I am so happy for him.
I also thought
Yep.
Alaric was dead because he just dropped down,
No, he's good.
but he's good. He
He's
just
fine. We'll
fainted
see
a
later.
little.
He's fine. We'll
Exactly.
see that boy later.
He just hit his head. So let's go into episode 220, The Last Day.
Another
Yes.
wild episode.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you guys probably know how this one starts, but let's take a little look at this Netflix description first.
With shirtless Damon. Yes.
Ugh, shut up.
What?
Damon is willing to go to great lengths to prevent Elena from being a victim of Klaus's plan to break the curse, putting him at odds with Stefan.
Ugh. Is that really the Netflix description?
Yup.
That sucks.
Copied it right from there.
Oh my god, that's literally the worst.
Hey, in case you haven't realized, the Netflix descriptions of this episode, kind of any of these episodes of TVD,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 kind of fucking suck.
Yeah, we literally in the first season of us watching this episode, an entire bit of us watching the show, this entire bits were just like, oh, this Netflix description, pretty whack, pretty not good.
No, I remember. My
How could
God.
you? You weren't there.
I was there for a
But,
couple.
okay. So we come to this
There we go.
this fucking episode, dude.
Mhm.
This fucking episode.
It hurts.
So, we start with Damon shirtless.
Yeah.
Ew.
Aren't my notes great?
Ew. I really am only referring to your notes because, you know, they are the 8 pages of our fucking show notes here. They're 8 pages, and yet they say so little.
They're just me going, "Hey."
Shirtless Damon is there. Who cares? Stefan gets kind of caught up to everything. It's a
Yep.
whole like that's what you missed on Glee ass montage catch up session.
Yeah, the thing
Um,
I was questioning is like, why is Damon even there? He hasn't apologized yet. Like, he should not
He
be
just
allowed
showed
at any of these meetings until he apologizes.
That's true. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No Damon allowed.
exactly. Give me a no
They just have
Damon
that
allowed club, please.
They just have that on like the door, like no Damon's allowed.
Exactly. Like, that would be gold. I would eat that shit
That would
up.
be funny.
So, it is revealed that Elijah kind of lays out the shopping list for the whole curse. So he needs a werewolf, he needs a vampire, he needs the moonstone, and he needs the doppelganger. What he needs to do is sacrifice the werewolf, the vampire, and the doppelganger because he needs to drink the blood of the doppelganger until she is dead.
Mhm.
Yikes.
To find a loophole for this, way back in 1491, Elijah got a bunch of witches to make him a potion. He now
witch-
has a funky fun potion that will basically revive Elena once she is dead and has no blood in her system.
Yeah. And everything will be hunky-dory fine.
Everything will work out
Mhm.
great.
I'm sure it'll be really, really great. I'm sure all of this will go
Listen,
exactly as planned.
It's going smoothly. It's going great. Nothing's ever going
For
to
the
mess
next
this
5
up.
minutes, it'll be going smoothly.
Uh-huh.
Also, it is important to note here. You have to remember this. I feel like this is really important to kind of note here. Elijah was in love with Catherine. And
Yeah.
I think Elena is the only one who kind of knows that or has caught on to that thus far. So I think she has the most faith in this potion because she's like, well, if he was going to give it to Catherine, he loved Catherine. It will protect me, you know?
100%.
And I think Elena, maybe Stefan knows that, but I think Elena is the only one who knows it, who like
Elena
actually
sees
knows it.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena has that intuition.
Mm-hmm. So, then we go to the Lockwood house. We go to the Lockwood house. We see Carol Lockwood coming up the stairs. She's talking on the phone with to Tyler. She's like, "Hey, Tyler, it's your mom. I need you to come back home. I'm at the hospital. I had a fall. I just need you to be back home." And she gets up to the top of the stairs. And she like hangs up the phone and she looks up to somebody and she's like, "Why did I just say that?" And it is Maddox, Klaus's witch, who just says, "Well, you're about to have a pretty bad fall," and he just yeets her off of the stairs.
He yeets her.
He threw her.
Like he could have done like a graceful fall. No, he just yeeted her off the side of the stair.
He like, okay, so the stairs go up and then they turn and then they go up some more. So she is at the very top of the 90-degree angle of stairs that they have, right? He yeets her off of the stairs. She hits her head on the other side of the stair banister and then falls to the ground.
Yeah.
It is
Onto marble.
onto marble.
How is she alive?
There is no way she is alive after that.
She's alive because she's a plot device.
She has that good plot armor.
Yep.
I'm
sorry, but and like the way it even looked, like it was like a mannequin, like.
Absolutely, that was just a
It did.
mannequin they threw out of a fucking air cannon or some shit. They just yeeted that thing out of there.
Just imagine Julie Plug with a cannon, like, fire!
Oh,
For the plot. So back at the Salvatore house, Damon's being a sulky teenager drinking bourbon for breakfast or some bullshit.
A mood.
And Stefan really wants to like try and see the best in his brother, but hey, bud, give it up. You're not going to see it for a while now.
Yeah.
Elena is she's doing this to protect everybody, you know? Because like Bonnie could kill Klaus, but Bonnie would die. This way, everybody lives and everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lovely thing she says to Elijah. Love her.
She's just...
I just love that they have so much scenes together. It's so great.
It really lets you see Elena in her element when she's not getting fucked over by somebody or trusting somebody.
Here's my one thing about Elena. She can 100% be like Catherine, manipulative, things like that, but she really uses it for her own good. To be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she uses it. She uses her powers for good. She trusts a little bit too much, but with at least Elijah, that's good because he's trustworthy. So into the house, there's a commotion. Jenna has a crossbow pointed at Alaric. You love to see it.
Yeah.
You absolutely just love to see it.
It's beautiful.
And Alaric is back, baby. He blacked out for about 3 days, but now he's here again. And
with
he has news. The sacrifice happens tonight. Jinkies.
Uh-oh. Fuck.
No.
Shit.
Zoinks.
I wonder if they could have seen that coming, but I don't know. Knowing when the moon rises.
I know. You really should have been able to see this one if you had a calendar, but you know.
And everyone's like, okay, so they need a full moon, moonstone, everything else. They got everything. When's the full moon? Tonight We're fucked.
Oh shit. Yeah, exactly. So at the Mystic Grill, where we always end up, Caroline
Iconic.
stops by to see
We've
Matt.
been there for a few days.
Yeah, I kind of missed
We
it a
were
little
there for a
bit.
few hours. Are you fucking for real?
Yeah.
No.
I was like, we haven't been there in a while. When are you going back?
It did catch on fire.
It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome, you know?
But just with the Mystic Grill.
Yeah.
And it's just Caroline singing Eternal Flame over and over again on repeat.
Oh God. So in case you've forgotten, because we kind of lost that the last episode, but Matt does know Caroline's a vampire, and he and Sheriff Forbes are still in cahoots.
Yep.
This entire conversation that they've had
Hurts.
Yeah.
Knife to the fucking heart, dude.
Like, this is how I interpreted it. It was like a little sprinkle of that whole racism thing we were talking about earlier, right? And then they're like, let's not address that. But also, can we talk about how Sheriff Liz is just like Matt just calls her out on her bad judgment of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's
Matt
like,
Jonathan,
and he's
love
like,
him.
he's like, maybe it's not Caroline who's bad. Maybe you just don't know how to tell who's a good person from a bad person, and you trusted Damon for some reason when everyone else around him is just like, oh, this guy kind of sucks, but for some reason you were like, he's fine.
That's true. Matt really did say fuck Damon.
As he should.
He should.
Because
and I was like,
Matt
thank you,
has
Matt.
Matt has been spending the last weeks like acting like he doesn't know Caroline's a vampire. But like that's still Caroline, you know?
Yeah, and he recognizes that like a normal person would.
Yeah, and then Liz is like, you know, this is just how I grew up. Hey, that's also your daughter, Liz.
Exactly.
Hey, Liz, that's your kid.
Your kid.
That's your kid. So, Matt, you can kind of see it. Matt, the wheels in Matt's head start turning. He's not liking Damon right now.
He's redeeming himself, honestly. Not liking Damon and starting to trust Caroline again. Maybe Matt, maybe you'll get on my good side once again.
Matt, maybe you're doing the damn thing.
Exactly.
You know? Yes.
And I'm very proud of him for now. Also, Tyler's back in town now because his mom got yeeted down those stairs. Exactly. So he's back in town now, and we love to see it.
That's it. That's all we get. Tyler's back. Hey guys.
Yeah. That's really it.
Yeah.
Back at the Salvatore house, Alaric gets kind of filled in on everything that happened while he was body snatched.
Clouds.
While he was body snatched.
Body snatched is good.
Yeah.
And
he gets the previously on the Vampire Diaries.
The Sun and the Moon curse made by the ancient Aztecs is actually all fucking fake. So, this plan, by the way, is gonna work. Like,
yeah.
The plan they have set out, absolutely gonna work.
Yeah.
And Elena has made her choice, and everybody's made peace with that.
Yep.
Except for Damon.
This fucking man.
Yeah.
Elena goes to like try and one last time try and like hard sell him on this plan.
She's too good of a person for doing that.
She's too good of a fucking person for doing this.
Because Damon's really willing to like get Bonnie, have her throw her to the wind, have her kill Klaus. But we know the one way to kill Klaus right now is when he's in transition as a werewolf. And then from there, Bonnie can kill him, use little magic, and they're done.
They're
but
good
Damon
to go.
is like, yeah, and Damon's like, nah, let's kill her now. It's like, no.
So, Damon basically, no, not
does
basically.
What any sensible person will do.
This is what he does. He makes Elena drink his blood.
Mm-hmm.
He just forces that on her.
Yep.
so that tonight, when they know she is going to die, she will turn into a vampire.
Yep.
Fucking
Without even
asshole.
giving Elena a choice.
And Damon, he keeps saying things like, it clearly doesn't matter what I think. Like,
yeah, exactly.
you're correct. And he's also like, there has to be another way. Like, bro, Elena just gave you the other way. Like, there can't be that many more loopholes. Otherwise, they cease to just be loopholes.
Exactly.
You know, the thing ceases to be effective when there are more loopholes than a fucking... When it looks like Swiss cheese, that is when it ceases to be an effective curse.
Yeah, and I like to think that, like, the drinking vampire blood thing, that's like nuclear option. That's if, like, Elijah's thing wasn't gonna work.
And just...
Like, that's nuclear option, but Damon decided to press the red button and launches into World War III.
And just for no goddamn reason.
No good reason. And, like, even if you
Except
weren't
for being
sure
selfish.
that Elijah's thing wasn't going to work, it's still Elena's choice whether or not she wants to do something or not. That is not your choice to take away her. That is not your prerogative to take away her choice and force feed her blood.
Yeah, and I do even love how Elena even said, like, if Damon was like, what if it doesn't work? Then Elena was like, then I'll be dead.
Exactly.
I'll be dead.
And that's her
Too bad.
choice. But you can't just go around force feeding blood. And, like, this is just another example of Damon's ego getting in the way of everything.
Oops. Yeah.
And out of everybody in the Salvatore house right now, he knows the least.
Exactly.
And Elijah says this. Elijah tells him, like, you talk a good game, but you don't actually know anything.
That line
just reads him to fucking filth.
Oh my god.
Leaves him in an alley. He has been found dead.
I was like, yes, exactly. You are correct, Elijah. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's always going on. I think that the moment we realize that Damon is the true villain of this entire show, we can finally be at peace and realize, like, just recognize that he's the villain.
He never stopped being the villain.
Exactly. He's
Not
always
right
the
now,
villain.
no.
It's just bonkers to me. Just absolutely fucking bonkers. He's like, Elijah's like, she's gonna hate you forever, right? And for a vampire, forever is an awfully long time.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's Damon of all people, too. Damon, who was coerced into becoming a vampire by Stefan in the first place.
Yes,
and as a result, has tried to curse Stefan with a lifetime of misery. It's that Damon is the same one who does this. The cognitive dissonance is so fucking strong.
I don't even know what to say other than I'm annoyed, and I'm not even disappointed because I expect that from Damon because he's the worst.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I was disappointed, but this is pretty just par for the course here.
That's in character for him to, like, ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
And, like, the way he doesn't even like because now the potion that they were going to use also ineffective. The way he doesn't think, like, he doesn't think before he acts. He just acts stupidly.
Yeah. But the one thing I do love is how Stefan, being the better man, as per usual, said, Elena, how can you take that choice away from her? Like,
exactly.
How can you, of all people, take that choice away from her?
Because Stefan admitted, like, he made a mistake with Damon. Like, he shouldn't have forced his brother to be a vampire. And Stefan has been trying to make up for that kind of heavy on the kind of. But he really just he doesn't want, like, other people to not have that choice. Like, he doesn't want to be selfish about it. But here's Damon being selfish, and I hate it.
Cut to the hospital. Jules is back. She's trying to get Tyler, not out of town apparently, and
Or just kind of out of the way.
Just out of here, In the parking lot, Tyler runs into Caroline. Jules is like, I'll give y'all a hot second. And then both Caroline and Tyler get kidnapped.
Can we have a Caroline kidnap counter as well now? Because it's happened so many times. And I feel like it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah,
do we want to have a Caroline kidnap counter? Because
I feel like we need to.
We need one now.
Let me make one right now. When are the other times she gets kidnapped?
Season 1 with Damon every single time.
This season she also got kidnapped with the werewolves. They kidnapped her.
Mm-hmm.
What episode was that? By the Light of the Moon?
I don't
Think
remember.
so. Hold on. Hold it. DVD
Let me look
wiki.
it up.
Oh. Holy Vampire Diaries wiki. Oh. So many. No, By the Light of the Moon is when Tyler helped her change.
When did she get kidnapped?
I think it was daddy issues. Daddy issues. Yep. Daddy issues.
And then now this in episode The Last Day will make it up to 3. She's only 1 behind Elena for kidnappings.
Yeah.
Damn. Go Elena. I mean Caroline.
I think it's just because this season they're like, Caroline's here. Something bad has got to happen to her. Let's kidnap her again.
And that train does keep on a going. So
it does.
So then we cut to the Mystic Grill where Matt looks like he wants to kill Damon, as he should.
Yeah. Character development, man.
I know, honestly,
love
growth.
To see it.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Damon sits down at the Mystic Grill for a drink, and then who shows up? Alaric.
Yay!
Hey, Alaric, you don't need to be helping Damon.
Yeah, no one needs to help this man out.
He's gonna make bad choices regardless.
Exactly.
But who else appears?
I will say though, before we get that any further, Damon does say he messed up, and I'm like, okay, you messed up, but you still fucked up, so fuck you. Anyway.
Anytime Damon says, "Oh, I messed up," I don't care anymore because he does it so often that at this point it's like you don't learn from your mistakes, so I don't even care that you recognize that you've messed up.
Yeah.
Also, it's not like he's saying sorry.
Yeah, he's not saying sorry. He's kind of just saying, "Oh, I messed up." Like,
yeah, like he feels bad about it because now people are mad at him.
Exactly.
Not because he has fucked up everything else.
Exactly.
He's not like saying sorry to Elena or anything like that.
No, he's just saying sorry to the Void.
Exactly. He's sorry that people are mad at him.
Yeah.
Which, God, what a white man thing to do.
It is.
No offense to white men, but God, what a white man thing to do.
I'm white man.
It's like, you know, when you see somebody apologize and they clearly don't actually want to apologize. And so they're I'm sorry that you were offended by my words.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that people
you
have
felt
been
that
annoyed.
way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry you took it this way when clearly that's not how it meant.
It's like, take accountability for your actions for once.
Yep.
Will they? No.
Anyway.
Never. So guess who shows up? Guess who else shows up at the Mystic Grill? Klaus.
At this point,
in the flesh.
At this point, I was like, there's too many moving parts going on. It's making me very highly anxious because not only do we have Klaus here, but now we have Alaric is also there, and also Matt is just looking from afar. I'm just like, what the fuck is about to go down? Because I'm not prepared.
And will you be surprised when I tell you nothing?
Yeah, that's what I was surprised. I was like, oh, nothing happens in the scene. Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing. It's just kind of more like the banter stuff.
It's just, ugh. So, far away from here, Stefan is taking Elena on a little last day as a human adventure. Love that.
Elena hike.
It's so cute.
Oh, to be on a hike right now.
To be outside.
Nice.
To be near other people. Oh, a dream right now.
To be on a hike near a waterfall that ends with the beautiful scenery with my beloved, you know?
Yeah.
That just sounds so nice.
To be on the hike with Paul Wesley.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah.
And Nina Dobrev.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds like a fun time. The one thing I do love about this scene, though, is that it's Stefan giving Elena one last day as a human. Like, oh.
Like, I'm sorry you have to do this, kids. You know?
Yeah, like, Stefan doesn't want this, doesn't want to do this for her. Like, he wanted it to be her choice, but now it's kind of like, okay, well, great. One last day together. Let's do it.
There's a monologue that happens later on. We'll discuss it later on, but that monologue.
I also love how Elena gets so angry that Stefan won't vamp jump over the falls and just get them there quicker. She's like, but you're not? He's like, nope, we're gonna hike. She goes, son of a bitch.
I know. It's like, God damn it.
Elena's like, I had to do effort on this hike. God damn it, I hate it here. I just love it so much.
So, they talk to Catherine again, right? Yeah. Alaric and Damon go to their apartment to talk to Catherine, and Catherine is like, Catherine's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you where they are. And then he's like, no, you will. And Catherine tells him that Caroline and Caroline and Tyler, are being held in the tomb because apparently people in this town only know like 3 places.
Yeah, the tomb, the grill, the Salvatore house. That's it.
That's it. That's the trifecta.
But I love the reason why Catherine told Damon is because she found out that Elena was going to be turning into a vampire and that she'd have to fight for Stefan's love along with Elena for forever now. She's that petty. She's like, God damn it.
She's like, okay, I guess I'll have to tell you because I don't want to have to deal with this other woman for that much longer.
She doesn't want to deal with Elena anymore. She wants Elena dead more than anything.
But is that the reason, though? Like, I didn't read it that way. I mean, like, yes, that's the reason Damon gave her, but, like, I also kind of read it as, well, if Klaus doesn't get what he wants this time, he already has me, and I can't escape. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I might as well help his plan go right or go so wrong in a way that he doesn't expect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's already trapped against her will. These are, like, she's playing whatever cards she can.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. That is a good reason. Oh, damn it.
I didn't really,
I'm reading the wrong show.
I caught that line, but I didn't really like think that made as big of a thing on her because as much as I'm already a prisoner of war here, let's wrap this war up as quickly as possible, folks.
Yeah, and let's cause some chaos. They do take a little trip. We do take like a little like cut scene to the tomb. Like Caroline and Tyler just can't get out. And then we realize Tyler doesn't know anything.
He's been away on his, like, wolf journey.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was meditating in the Appalachian Mountains, probably.
Pretty much, yeah. He's been just, like, chilling in West Virginia or some shit.
West Virginia.
Nope.
No?
You can't.
Oh, okay.
You cannot. So Caroline kind of filled him in on everything. Basically, he also gets previously on the Vampire Diaries. With everything that goes on here. So we go back to Selena hiking, and the falls are so pretty, y'all. They just have such a good time.
It's so.
I completely forgot like that was like a staple in Mystic Falls, like the actual falls.
Hey, so, you know why that town was named that way? Take a wild guess.
I'm very surprised, as you can tell. I forgot it was a thing, and I was like, oh, they could show that on Legacies. They won't.
Is this when the monologue comes in? Because I want to.
It's the one before.
It's the first one.
Okay.
So Stefan
lists monologue.
off. He lists off like why it's great to be a vampire, and then he also like tells her why it's bad to be a vampire.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she, you know, he's just like filling her in on all the good stuff and all the bad stuff that he didn't want to tell her before. But now this is going to be her new future, so she should know.
Yep, and Elena sadly realizes she can no longer watch Bambi.
Truly the greatest loss from this episode.
Yeah.
Not like, you know, she's going to die or anything like that.
Nope, she just can't watch Bambi anymore, and that's her favorite movie.
So sad. So, back at the apartment, Klaus gets a sneaking suspicion that Catherine is on Vervain.
Mm-hmm.
So he is so fucking cruel and so fucking devious. I love this for him.
Yeah.
What he does is he makes her take off her bracelet, and then he's like, go step into the sun and burn. And
Burn,
Catherine
Catherine,
does.
burn.
Also copyrighted. I swear, seriously.
Oh, sorry.
Catherine steps into the sun and burns to fool Klaus into thinking that she's not on Vervain.
The amount
is
of
just-
like badassery that is to go through that amount of pain and just sit there and stand there just so that she can continue to fool him, that he can compel her. Wild.
It's so good. Catherine is so good at being so devious. Just love it. Just really pulling the wool over his eyes. Damon's going to fuck shit up. He gets interrupted by Maddox, the witch guy, and he is about to get fucking murked by Maddox when Maddox gets fucking shot by Maddie Blue Eyes Donovan.
Matt, you saved the day!
I love
I'm so
this
proud
for
of my
him.
boy. I love how Matt just comes in and saves the day.
I love
It's so
character
great.
growth, you know, like, oh, like, I can't trust Caroline, she's a vampire, she might have killed my sister too.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Caroline's in trouble. Let me go save her real quick.
Hey, you know who is the root of all problems here? Damon.
Yeah.
And so Matt's about to fucking murk Damon, which love that for him, when Damon kind of just like comes over and like hits him with the butt of his gun.
And you're like, oh, poor Matt.
Which
You're still
We're
just
so close.
You're still a human.
Matt got wrecked.
You're still a human, Matt, but we love you nonetheless.
He tried. You know, Matt made a good solid try here.
He did.
He
really did.
So then Damon goes down into the tomb to release Caroline. Caroline. I'm sorry. There have been a lot of names in this tomb. And
there really has.
You're right.
So Matt goes down to release Caroline, and Caroline's like, no, you have to release Tyler too.
Yep.
Because Tyler was like, they were just chatting, by the way, before Damon gets here.
Yeah.
Tyler's always like, did you hate me? And Caroline's like, no, of course not. No.
She was pissed, but she was just like, I just wanted a goodbye at least. Like, she just, I love Caroline and Tyler's dynamic so much.
They have a really good dynamic.
They do. It's so Romeo and Juliet too, and I'm a sucker for that play.
I think you're just a sucker.
I'm a sucker. Anything Julie Plec gives me, I'm like, some good fucking food.
So Damon's about to just free Caroline, and Caroline's like, no, we're taking Matt too. And he's like, okay, fine, fucking let's
Tyler.
get to the... Fuck! Well, also, no, wait, also, when they go outside, they also do take Matt. Yeah. So fuck you, I was right there. They do also...
You were right.
She does insist on taking Matt too. Sorry, I kind of thought they were already out. So they free Tyler and go pick up Maddie Blue Eyes as well.
Yep.
So
there's
we go
not
back
a full
to
moon or anything about to happen.
Yeah, it's fine. We really should have just left that werewolf chain.
And there's
fine.
There's not a werewolf right there. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Perfect. So we go back to the Selena hike, which okay.
Hey, all right.
It's really fucking dark when Damon is out at the tomb, but it's really fucking bright when we go back to the Selena hike. Sunset.
Well, they were at sunset.
Yeah, but like it's dark in the forest, not sunset in the forest. But
this scene like happens before like they get out, so it's kind of like okay, like there's some time passage. So I'm assuming
I don't know how time even works in this universe because nothing ever makes sense, and they just cut between things because they can. So
yeah. They can.
So
but don't worry, like this happened before nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
But this scene happened before nightfall, so don't worry.
Okay. So do you guys what happens in this scene?
Oh,
y'all want to take it?
Stefan climbed Mount Everest. And I have too, but it was a roller coaster in Walt Disney World.
Okay, well, the actual important stuff.
Elena is...
and her monologue.
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding. I cried. I teared up. I cried.
First time I watched. It's honestly one of the standout Elena scenes for me. Because and it's also a standout Elena scene. Because again, as we've said in this podcast many times before, Nina Dobrev is too powerful.
She's so
she-
powerful.
So powerful.
She's too powerful. But I loved how Stefan said to her, if it was up to me, I would have you live forever. We would be vampires together and we would live happily ever after. But he knows that's not his choice.
Yeah, he's like, that's
And he
selfish, and I don't want to be selfish. And I was like, fuck.
Yep. And then Elena just kind of goes down the list of I'm 17.
Okay,
I'm not
so
supposed to make these
so
choices.
Stefan saying all that stuff, I was like, "Aw, Stefan." And then Elena goes into her little monologue about being 17 and not knowing anything, and I love you, but I don't know what love is, and I wanted to grow old and have a family and and I just started. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
it honestly. Oh, sorry.
I was just like, Damon is the worst for forcing her to become a vampire. Like the actual worst.
Yes, but I also love this scene because it separates Elena from other human girls with vampire boyfriends, because they're all like, I want to be a vampire with you. Is that so hard to understand? And the boy's like, no, I don't want you to be a vampire. I don't want you to be succumbed to my darkness. And Elena's like, fuck this. I don't want to be a vampire. Fuck, no.
Yeah, her not wanting to be a vampire is such a human reaction too.
It really is. As much as you want to be live forever and experience everything there is to experience, there's a lot of downsides to it. You're constantly thirsting over human blood. You're constantly at war with your own mind at a lot of points.
And you can't experience the things that other people look forward to later on in life.
You can't have a family. You can't grow old with someone forever. You're just stuck in forever, and that's all it is. And I do love Elena's before they hug, Elena saying, I don't want to be a vampire, Stefan. I never wanted to be one. I was like, I lost it at that point. And rewatching it really made me cry again.
I was like,
and Stefan, the best part is that Stefan's like, I know you don't want this.
He
yeah.
knew.
He knew she didn't want that, and he was okay with that.
Yep. He knew he probably wouldn't have Elena forever, and he was okay with that.
Oh my god.
He knew. He knew. I hate it here so fucking much.
I hate it here. I hate it here so much.
I hate this because it's something that they kind of say later on in the show, and I'm actually tearing up right now thinking about this. But it's something that Elena says later on. I won't say when, but she's when she first met Stefan, she was dead inside, and now after meeting him, she felt alive. But now she's kind of just stuck with am I gonna live forever with Stefan, or am I gonna live a normal human life again? It's just, ugh. I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about this.
Fuck.
I hate it here so much.
It does not get
and
better.
The next scene does not help any better.
It doesn't get better. It actually just gets worse from here on out.
It hurts even more.
The last part of this episode is you're in. It hurts. It is a roller coaster.
The last part
of
this episode, they're like, "Oh, you're already down. You're already in pain. Here's some more. You want some more? You know that meme is
don't be shy. Put some
exactly
more.
that one. That's them, but just
My God.
putting more and more pain on top of you until you're crying.
And that's on Kevin Williamson and Julie Plec ruining our lives. I love that scene so much.
I know. The next scene has us going back to the Salvatore house. Stefan and Elena arrive back, and Stefan's opening the car door for her and everything.
A
gentleman and a scholar. And then who appears at the end of the driveway? But
I hope it's I was gonna say Alex Trebek with a check for $1 million.
No.
It's
okay.
also, that's not what Alex Trebek does, dude.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
the
He
Jeopardy
could.
dude.
That's
the Jeopardy man. That's the man who asks the questions.
You know what? He could have $1 million for me. You don't know that.
Brian, you've never answered a question correctly in your life. Alex Trebek would give you nothing.
Can I just say,
true.
Jeopardy is so hard, but whenever I get one of the questions right, I feel like the most powerful human being in the entire world.
That is very true. Anyway, Klaus shows up.
Klaus is at the end of the driveway, not Alex Trebek for whatever fucking reason.
And he doesn't have any $1 million. He just has pain.
Yeah.
he is just here to take Elena away from Stefan.
Yeah.
So Elena and Stefan have one last kiss. They
Mhm.
exchange one last I love you. And then Elena says, close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
I
Fuck.
hate it. Because this is a callback to Buffy, and I hate it so much.
Is it really? I've never watched Buffy.
There in the season 2 finale of Buffy and Angel, who was like her love, Angel had like lost his soul, so like he's basically like no humanity kind of dude. He's evil and about to end the world.
Mhm.
Buffy is like fighting him and like all the things like that. He gets his like soul and like humanity back and everything, but like the only way to stop the end of the world is for Buffy to kill Angel. So like they have like one last kiss, one last I love you, and she goes, close your eyes, and then she stabs him and sends him to hell.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, they play a very emotional music that I love to this day.
This scene
Christoph
in
Beck.
the Vampire Diaries, the music.
Yeah.
So stop that. That hurts. Stop it with the music. Stop it with all of this.
I just hate like even Stefan was like trying to like fight back and like to go to fight back, and Elena was like, no. We talked about this. I'm gonna die.
She's like, there's no good reason for you to get hurt.
She's like, I'll see you tomorrow morning, you know?
But she can't really say that because she has to make it real for Klaus. Otherwise, Klaus is going to be like, oh, you're just going to become a vampire? Fuck you.
Also, Pixel just jumped her ass up onto here and started purring. And I do just want you all to know that as like a little moment of peace in this sadness, is that my little kitten is here. And she's a very good little girl.
She's sad about Stelena too.
She is. She saw me crying about them.
Yeah,
I like
so
like
much.
the fact that they were playing it up for Klaus, but they were doing it so well. Like you could see like the tears that were forming in Stefan's eye, like the tears that he was holding back.
Paul Wesley, you're so good.
And that's on Paul Wesley and Nina Dobrev having amazing chemistry.
Yeah, and it was like, fuck y'all. Like, y'all are good. Like,
they really are, aren't they?
Oh, God, I just love this scene. But not as much as the other scene.
They're both good, though.
I was fed very well as a Stelena fan. And it was all pain. Anyway.
So Stefan goes into the house, and Damon realizes how truly and spectacularly he has fucked up.
Because he thought that Elena would be safe, that they'd be like, hold off, like, we got everything Klaus has, like, we're good. And then Stefan's like, yeah, we just handed over Elena. So, yikes.
So Damon runs away.
Yeah. But not before Tyler Lockwood breaks more of his bones.
Yeah, we also probably should have talked about that more. So Tyler Lockwood started transforming in the forest while Damon, Caroline, and Matt were trying to get out of there. It's horrifying. Tyler's hands like straight up just like go 90 degrees back.
Mm-hmm.
It is very like The Grudge-esque, like the fucking the girl coming out of the TV kind of bullshit. And he does transform into a wolf, or like starting to transform into a wolf, and he does kind of bite Damon. So
dun dun dun.
Keep that in mind for what's about to happen next. So Damon runs to Alaric's apartment, and
Klaus is there with torture porn and product placement.
Yeah. Hey guys, remember when I was like, man, the product placement episodes of TVD are the best. Hey, I think the product placement episodes of TVD are the best.
Yeah.
This is Klaus one of those instances.
Klaus literally has a cell phone that he can just plug into his computer and then open the computer, and then there it is. It's like, where has that computer been?
It's in about 2011, where forever it shall stay.
I mean, at this point.
So Klaus reveals that he has backups. He has plan Bs because he's been trying to plot this for a fucking long ass time. And if Damon fucking Salvatore thinks he can pull one over on an original vampire, he might be the stupidest motherfucker this side of the Mississippi River.
Can we just talk about how this is not Damon's first time attempting at pulling one over at an over an original and not doing well at it?
Yeah,
Like, this is
no,
not his
he's
first
failed.
attempt. This is like his
And
second
it
attempt.
probably won't be the last.
No.
Like,
Brian, right there, I want you to know that you just laughed like a French villain who was
Mhm.
trying to steal my baguette.
Oui, me baguette for te ver.
I hate it here, but I love it here.
I know,
So
right? It's chaotic.
Klaus has Jules, which is another werewolf, and
Mhm.
apparently somewhere
A back.
another vampire.
hmm.
It's Damon.
Damon's trying to make it so he's the vampire,
Mhm.
which
Yep.
probably not
I
gonna
wish
work,
it was.
huh?
I wish it was.
I totally
So-
wish it was.
Then we cut back to also I do though like this scene with Klaus and Damon because you can see where Catherine learned her tricks. Because if you're running from somebody, the first thing you have to do is learn what they do and figure that out so you can do it better than they can. And this is a
Mhm.
really good like replay of Catherine's plan A, plan B, plan C. You know how the alphabet goes, right,
Mhm.
Damon?
Yeah.
Like attitude.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Catherine, you're
Uh-huh.
a beautiful woman.
Uh-huh.
That's really good. Oh my god.
Thank you. I'm a genius.
Thank you. You really are.
I'm going to get that audio clip framed and I want that to be played at the beginning of every episode where Brian's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking genius."
Yep.
So
I just loved how Klaus said it though. He's like, backup witch, backup werewolf, and then Damon goes, backup vampire, and he goes, I got that covered, and he goes, rawr, and then blackout.
it's just so good.
It's perfect.
We cut back to the forest where Matt and Caroline are running from Tyler, and they're
Yay!
like going through the different stages of the Lockwood like cellar,
Mhm.
where Matt goes like, "Is this door gonna hold them?" And Caroline's like,
Nope.
"Nope." So she goes back and she's like, "There's another gate," and he's like, "Okay, is that gonna hold them?" And she goes,
Nope.
"Nope, help me with the gate." And then they go in further to the third gate, and they're like, "All right, we got to chain this up." And oh look, there's a puppy. It's
And
Tyler.
it looks a lot. It looks like a werewolf with venom, but it's fine.
It's a puppy. So
He's a puppy. Got a pet puppy.
we cut back to the apartment where Damon comes to. And
Yay.
Damon's like, "Wait, why am I here?" And Catherine's like, "I'm sorry, Damon. I had to do it. I had to." And he's like, "What'd you have to do?" He's like, "Well, Klaus needed another vampire." And he's like, "Okay, well, why didn't he take me?" She's like, "Well, you're as good as dead."
And then he looks down at his arm, and there on his arm is a werewolf bite.
I was gonna say the coordinates to the Starship Command. Dun,
Brian,
dun,
you disappoint me
dun.
so intensely so often.
I know, but that's my job. I'm the family disappointment here.
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you.
So
Like, it kind of makes you think, like, because she was like saying, like, I had to lure her out, and you're like, who the fuck is her? Like, who else? There's no other vampires in town besides Caroline, and that's the only other girl vampire we got.
Exactly. So
and
then,
I mean,
So
if
who is it?
Catherine's there and Damon's there, then who's driving the plane?
so so we forgot to mention like earlier that Elena was like was taken, and Greta
Okay,
is-
well, we're gonna come back to that now. That's where
yeah,
we're
yeah.
ending right here.
I'm trying to lead us back
Yeah.
to there. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Jordan's taking our hand
Klaus-
and leading us there now.
Exactly.
I know, I love it. Wow, love
We're
this for
going.
us.
Yeah!
Where are we going, Jordan? We're going back to the woods. That's where we're fucking going. Where where Greta is leading Elena through the woods, and Greta also, by the way, totally fucking fine. Everything her family did was for goddamn nothing.
Yeah, and she like probably knows her brother and father are dead, and she's like, "Nah, I don't give a shit. I'm with
Yeah,
Klaus now."
she just learned that news.
Insane.
And you can't. I don't know if it's because she's really like drinking the crazy Kool-Aid there, or if she was kind of just aligned with him the whole time, or if it was like a Stockholm syndrome thing. We don't really know. But Greta's here, and she's
She's
evil.
badass.
She's evil.
And badass.
And she like lights up a bunch of pyres in the woods, and there's somebody lying on the ground. And Elena's like,
Probably no one
"Who is
important.
that?" And she runs up.
No one important.
and it's Aunt Jenna.
No, it's not. It's fine. Everything's
It's
fine.
Aunt Jenna. And
Oh, fuck.
Greta's like, Elena's like, she's dead. And Greta's like, no, she's not. She's in transition.
And then cue Jenna having the best timed vampire wake up ever.
I hate it here. I hate it here. What did I do to deserve
Yep.
this? Huh, Julie Plex?
You watched
What?
Julie
What
Plex,
did I do
literally.
to
I
deserve?
remember watching.
I've already gone through a lot of pain this episode, and then you were like, actually, you haven't gone through enough. Let me add some more. That's rude. That's disrespectful. That's rude. And I'm against it. I'm 100% against it.
Julie,
the
you
one
will
thing I
be
hate about-
hearing from her. You will be getting the bill from her therapist.
And my lawyer. My therapist and my lawyer. I will be suing you for damages.
Emotional damages. I'm suing Julie Pleck for emotional damages.
Oh God, I have a big case then. But the one thing I love though is that Elena even said, like, looked at Greta and said, "I did everything he asked. Why her? Like, why is she here?" And it's like, you did. Just
Damon did not.
Catherine. Yeah.
Fucking Damon, man.
Oh God.
I mean,
The next episode is gonna hurt so much.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If it wasn't on Jenna,
Mhm.
it was gonna be Caroline. So either way, this is gonna
true.
freaking hurt.
Or anybody else in the town of Mystic Falls.
yeah, it literally, they could have just picked
Yeah,
up someone random. Like, it didn't have to
could
be
have used,
Jenna.
but they. So because it was Damon who took Caroline, that's specifically why he probably took Jenna, because he was like, "Oh, you did that to me. I'm gonna do this to you."
Yeah, no,
You know?
that's probably it. Yeah, just to be cruel.
But if it was, if the plan had been ruined by anyone else, do you? I think it would have always been Aunt Jenna, because who else would, like, someone who like knew Aunt Jenna and was like close to Elena had to be the one to save Caroline and or Tyler, and therefore someone.
Yeah, I think if any of the Mystic Falls crew had done it, I think the other people who it could have been, it would have also made sense if it was Matt as the
Oh, I
vampire
would've loved
sacrifice.
that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it would have made a lot of sense if it was
Jeremy?
Matt as well, or Jeremy. Yeah,
Jeremy would have
Um,
hurt.
Jeremy.
Jeremy would have hurt real bad. I think
You know why?
Jenna, as much as
I
it's
think-
gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt a lot less than if it was Matt or Jeremy or Caroline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Jenna's-
think the reason why it hurts even more because it's Jenna is because, well, number one, with Jeremy, like, he kind of like at a point wanted to be a vampire, so like I wouldn't, like, I'd feel bad, but like not that bad if he was like the one who had to transition into a vampire. But the reason why it hurts so much with Jenna is because, number one, she was the last person to know about any of this, right? So at the last
Mhm.
moment, she's just being dragged into all of this. And like she barely knows what's going on, and she's just being dragged into this whole ordeal.
I barely know what's going on.
like it hurts so much more with her because she barely knows what's going on. She barely knows the lore or anything behind what's going on. And it's Aunt Jenna. It's like another parental figure for Elena, just like in danger.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
just
just
gonna
ugh.
It's
And I
gonna
cannot believe
hurt.
this is the
It's-
episode we have to end on. There's no, we have to wait till next week to watch another one.
I know. We're
It's like the worst.
in danger.
But also,
So
imagine watching this live and that being the cliffhanger. Like,
How do you think
I
I
don't know how
felt?
you did
good
that,
fucking
Ryan.
cliffhanger.
I was crying. I was like, Jenna can't die. This isn't it. This is not how it happens.
And then you just have to sit with that for a week.
Mm-hmm. And it hurt.
And what a week. Hey Jordan,
Uh-huh.
what are you ranking episode 219? Klaus.
Okay, both of these episodes were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
is there any fault other than Damon being a fuck up?
I was waiting for it.
I mean, Damon being a fuckboy is a pretty big fault, but
But I will
Um,
say, even though he was a fuck up, it wasn't to a like, it annoyed me, but it wasn't to a point where it was like destructive for the story. Like, it moved
Yes.
him being a fuck up moved
Yeah.
the story along. So
Correct.
if I'm being honest, though, I might have to give this one a 10
Alrighty. Okay. All right.
because
I love it
they're
here.
really
I
just
love it here
like
so
these
much.
2 episodes. They really just outdid themselves. Like I can't fault them for anything. What am I gonna say that what was bad? Like nothing was. The only bad thing is that Bonnie's not here. But like, what else is there?
That is a very bad thing. We'll agree.
Yeah.
Brian, what are you ranking this episode? I think I already know what it is, but tell me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 10. It's a 10, 100%.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just gonna
what I
rip that
thought.
Band-Aid right off.
That's what I thought.
I just loved the episode. Like Elena and Elijah's talking. Like,
There's so many good things. Like
it was.
There's
so much
flashbacks. There's product placement. I mean, really, what more can you want?
Yeah.
Another hour of Elena and Elijah talking and making deals. Like, come on, give me that.
I am also going to rank this episode a 10. This is the second episode that we have across the board.
Giving it a 10.
10s.
Straight 10s.
That is amazing.
This season,
it is
though,
literally
like
the second episode in history, actually. Like, in the history of our podcast, this is the second time that we've ranked an episode 10 across the board, and the other one was Masquerade, and then this one 219.
As it should.
I think this season's just good.
The season's just good. Like, sure, there was like some bumps in the road, but overall, season's like very good.
Season 2 and season 3 are like peak Vampire Diaries for me.
So, Jordan, I also think I know what this ranking is gonna be, but
I'm gonna have to give it another 10 because what is
you're
there
gonna give
like what am I faulting them for? Like they didn't do anything wrong. Like for once the Vampire Diaries did not do anything wrong. They actually did correct stuff. Like I was intrigued. I like had a good time. I was sad for a good amount of it. Like
yeah,
you did your job and you did it well for once. Like
so I also think I know what this ranking is going to be. Brian, do you want to just say it?
I'm sorry, it's gonna be a 1. Just kidding. It's a 10.
Okay, I thought so.
Obviously, come on.
And I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Uh-oh, she hated it. It's a 1.
No, I'm gonna be very real with you all, right? When I gave episode 7 Masquerade a 10, I was like, this is the peak. But these 2 episodes are also the fucking peak.
Yeah.
These are 2 very good episodes. I am also gonna give this a 10. We have
oh my god, we just made history.
This is the first time we've given out 2 10s in one episode.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all.
Meanwhile, there's me. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Although, you have given out... Yeah, you've given out quite a few more 10s than me and Jordan have, but,
yeah.
Y'all.
Oh my
good
god.
fucking episodes.
Like,
they really were. I really loved watching them again.
Like, I would rewatch these. Especially for specific scenes, I would rewatch specific scenes from these 2 episodes.
The amount of times I've rewatched that sunset Stelina scene.
Like, there's like so much good stuff.
There really is.
Like, imagine they pulled this off every week. Imagine pulling off 10s every week.
Oh my god.
Y'all.
I
will say next week, Jordan, the next episode, episode 21, right?
Mm-hmm. 21,
yeah, 21,
The Sun Also Rises, and then 22, As I Lay Dying.
The next one, I expect you to be very, very hurt. And I will fully admit, like, I'm probably going to say this now, it's going to be a 10 for me again next week. Like, it's a spoiler alert. Like, are we shocked?
This is, by far, the overall highest ranking episode of TVD that we've done, you know? Like, 6 10s is incredible. Even with like Masquerade, where we all gave it 10s, the next episode, Rose, I gave it like an 8.5, Jordan gave it an 8, and you gave it a 9. Like, we had a come down there. There was no come down here.
Yeah. And
Nope.
here's the thing as well. I think this further proves my theory that in the beginning of seasons, so far at least, TVD just not very good. Just like mediocre. In the middle, kind of like, actually no, their premieres are actually pretty good. Let me not even say it's not pretty good. Their premieres are like mediocre to like pretty good, like very good, like for premieres, right? In the middle
Mhm.
gets like, they like kind of lose their place. They don't know where they're going. And then near the end, where they have like these big bad and all the storylines are coming together and everything is like working together. They're like using characters as they should be using them. They just pull it off. And I don't know what that
They
is,
do.
why they do that. I don't think that should be the way things happen, but it's how it's looking so far.
It's they
Yep.
do. They sometimes lose their way in the multiple plot lines that they introduce. But when they manage to make those all plot lines all hit together, boy howdy does it fucking hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week we are going to be watching episode 21 and 22, The Sun Also Rises, and As I Lay Dying. And that will be a fucking banger of an episode. Because also
It
we're going
really
to do, we're also going to take a look back during that same episode. It's going to be kind of a long one for our season finale. We are going to be taking a look at, we're going to be looking back through all of our rankings for this season. We'll find our favorite eps and everything. And we're going to just, it's going to hit hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Are we
I'm really excited.
I don't know. Are we gonna be able to fit the season finale all in one?
We might have to do a
We
little
can do
season
it.
finale bonus episode, but I
Yeah.
think we're gonna hit it all in one. It's
Okay.
gonna be really long,
We can do it.
but we can do it.
Okay.
So until then, follow us on Twitter at AfterBitePod. If you want to leave us voice memos like our good friend Harley did, give us a drop us a line over at anchor.fm/Afterbite. You can drop us a voice memo there and just like tell us how fucking dumb we are. Like, be mean or be nice. I mean, but if you want to be mean, you can absolutely be mean to us. Jordan and I can take it. Brian is a delicate little flower, but Jordan and I have got this covered.
Also, follow us on
Yeah.
Spotify, y'all. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Give us those 5 stars. That is my lifeblood. I will die if nobody gives me attention.
Okay, Tinkerbell, calm down.
Okay, well, now that's just an insult.
Ah.
Until then, we will be back next week. Like I said, watch along with us, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. Stay safe, stay inside, and wash your fucking hands.
And wear a mask.
I mean, yeah, that too. Mainly the one.